want to offer a practice today that has helped me to see the ways my mind clings, craves, attaches, and pushes away. All the different experiences that I experience in each moment, and how we all experience this life is through our senses, through sound, taste, smell, seeing, touch, and emotions and thoughts. The Buddha laid out these 4 foundations that we can practice with. And the first foundation is mindfulness of the breath, the body. So we do that. We bring our awareness, in some sense, I believe it's this first foundation is finding an anchor where we can rest our attention. An anchor where it feels comforting, easy, good enough to rest our attention, whether it's the breath, the gentle in and out of the breath, whether it's sounds or seeing, taste, smell, or touch. We're just investigating the nature of this body. Coincides a little bit with this, the first truth that, life can be unsatisfactory most of the time when we crave and cling, wanting it to be different, which is the second truth. The cause of our suffering, of our dissatisfaction, is wanting it to be different. Sometimes our situations need to be different. We're in situations that, circumstances that need to be different. But it's how are we with just day-to-day dissatisfaction of life, in our mind, in our experience. So this second foundation is we start turning towards the mind a little bit, turning towards these thoughts. And we do it in a simple way of just noticing how the mind craves for sounds to be different, wanting them to be the same. Listening to the ocean, listening to the birds, and it's pleasant, wanting more of that. But then hearing people talking behind you or horns honking could be unpleasant, could be jarring, and finding ourselves trying to push away and trying to make the perfect conditions, and creating a lot of stress and anxiety. So we simply can just start noting the pleasant sounds that are coming in, the unpleasant sounds that are coming in, and watching them go. And noticing the subtle nuances of neutral, of somewhere in between, of wanting or not wanting, or liking or not liking, or, So we're doing this practice with just a curiosity, and we'll just do a gentle stroll through the senses. We'll guide you through it. And it's a practice it's a formal practice. We do while we're sitting, standing, laying down, taking time to pause and really investigate. But it's something we can also do throughout the day. Notice ourselves craving, clinging, pushing away, and just naming it. And when we start naming it, it gets us out of the story of why we hate this, we want it different, and the how are we going to make it different. Again, a lot of energy. So we can let go, we can let be. Watch the impermanent nature of things rising and passing. and retrain the mind. And just take a moment to settle in. Wherever you're at, you're sitting, you're laying down, you're standing. And just let your eyes wander a little bit. Just looking around your surroundings, the shapes, the colors. And maybe right here you can already start noticing the mind picking apart your experience. What you see, there's a liking, there's a disliking, there's a neutral, there's a craving for more, there's a pushing away. See if you can let that go. Just release the grip a little bit and just look at shapes and colors. Just allowing your head to look behind you, above you, below you, left, right. And then resting your awareness somewhere that's neutral. Doesn't have a lot of story to it. Just some shapes, some colors. And you can rest your eyes here. The invitation is always you can leave your eyes open if you want. Or closing your eyes. And remembering this spot. Anytime that you feel the need to ground yourself or orient again, you can open your eyes and come to this spot, look around, and maybe go back in. So maybe right now you want to close your eyes or just rest your eyes at this spot. And just settle in. And see if you can let go of any doing. There's nothing you need to do right now. You set this time aside. So let go of even the thought of meditating. You're just arriving, noticing whatever's present, whatever's coming to the foreground of your awareness, whether they're thoughts or emotions from the day, the week, the past, or planning in the future. It's there. No need to push that away. But as the thoughts are doing their thing, if you can allow yourself just to settle in a little bit and just noticing the breath without judgment, just this breath coming in, going out. Noticing the sounds coming and going. The body resting, settling in. And just welcoming yourself to this moment. As if you're welcoming a loved one from a long day. Just And notice where your attention feels good enough to rest at, whether it's just resting with sounds, the sound of my voice or the birds outside or anything you're hearing. If that feels good, rest your attention there, using that as an anchor. Or if it's the breath, gentle in and out of the breath. Maybe it's the feet on the floor, the points of contact in the chair, the seat, the temperature on your skin. Wherever it feels good enough to rest your attention, your awareness, using that for home base. Anytime the mind starts clinging or pushing away, lost in story. These few first moments, just letting yourself gently rest your attention there, guiding yourself back. Whenever you find yourself drifting away in thought, having a sense of humor if the mind is busy right now, or keeps calling for your attention. Just a little giggle, of course. Of course. I see you. And gently return back into this moment. The sounds, the breath, the feet, the seat, the shapes and colors that are being seen, smells and tastes. This first foundation of mindfulness. The body feels like this. Sounds, sensations are like this. Some pleasant, some unpleasant. Some somewhere in between. So with your remembering this place where you can rest your attention, always a place to come back to return to. I want to invite you for a moment, if your attention isn't on sound or hearing, just allow yourself to explore sound. Maybe just noting the presence of sound in the room, outside the room, sound of my voice. And as you hear these different sounds coming in and going out, just notice, is there an attraction to one, an aversion to another? Is it somewhere in between? Using your own language. Notice a sound coming and you're getting lost in story, wanting more of it, wanting it a different way. Just watching this mind. So bad, just wants to have the perfect conditions. Everything comes and goes. Wanting, not wanting, neutral. We're just watching this happen right now. Not trying trying to do anything. Just noticing this mind. Craving, clinging. You start seeing this impermanent nature of all sounds coming and going. Be curious. This wisdom that's in us is the knowing the nature of conditions as we're experiencing them. The nature is they all have a tone. They all come and go. Returning to your anchor, if you're not already there. The breath, the feet, the seat, or staying with sounds. Turning to this first foundation of mindfulness, just simply knowing. The breath coming in, going out. Sounds coming and going. Seeing, taste, smell. Thoughts rising and passing. Emotions coming and going. Just shifting your awareness to seeing, even with your eyes closed. There's shapes, there's colors. Maybe there's some mental images. Maybe there's nothing. When you bring your awareness to seeing, what is the tone? Is there a wanting and not wanting? Somewhere in between? Noticing the same with taste and smell. Just being curious, watching. Watching the mind coming up with stories of why I like this or don't like this. I can let go of the why. That usually leads to how I can change it. And just come back to liking, not liking, neutral, nice, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Not judging the mind for continuing to make up stories, preferences. It's what the untrained mind does. It's not personal. We're learning new skills, so be easy and gentle. And returning to your anchor, that first foundation, wherever your attention, your awareness feels pleasant to rest, whenever you need. Welcoming yourself home to the breath, to the feet, the seat, sensations in the body, seeing, smell, taste, sounds. Softening, relaxing into this moment. Just with some curiosity, some openness. With a sense of wonder, just knowing you turn towards this mind and see its tendency to push away and cling in such a simple way, creating so much dissatisfaction. And letting our attention now just drop into the body and notice the points of contact or anywhere in the body that maybe feels a little unpleasant. Maybe you're wishing it was a little different. Again, not getting into the why or the how. It's just a little unpleasant. Maybe there's an ache and pain, or the way you've been sitting. I'm sure there's a story. See if you can just stick with just unpleasant. Returning to your anchor. It's too much. You don't need to focus too much on the unpleasant, just noticing. And maybe just scanning the body, noticing where it feels pleasant. Maybe it's just the subtle in and out of the breath, or the temperature right now. Being able to rest in this chair, this seat. This is pleasant. Watching the mind maybe grasping, how can I make it more pleasant? How can I hold on to this? Just let it come. Watch the mind pendulate between pleasant and unpleasant. Just curious, open. Maybe you can notice some places in the body that's just neutral. Not much feeling there. The elbows, earlobes. Neutral. And again, watching, pendulating. Pleasant, neutral, unpleasant. If it's too much, just coming back to your breath, coming back to your anchor at any time. Sounds, taste, smell, seeing. And just letting the body be as it is. And returning to this moment and the breath, the resting in the feet, the seat, the sounds, wherever your awareness feels good enough to rest. And welcome yourself back home. And as we rest our attention in the spot in the moment, notice the mind has been maybe chattering in the background, or maybe grasping you here and there. Next time you find yourself lost in one of those thoughts, or there's a thought that's just present, see if you can note that. Is that a pleasant thought? Unpleasant? Or is it just a random thought? And just let it go. Come back. By just naming it, we take the power out of it. Let it go and watch it pass. With as little judgment as possible, you're doing great. If there's an emotion attached to one of those thoughts, same, putting that feeling tone. Is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neither emotion that's present? Now letting go of all the instructions. Let go of all the trying. And see if you can just return somewhere in the present. It's easy to rest your awareness. There's little judgment, welcoming yourself back. And whatever comes to the foreground of your attention, of your awareness, is noticing as it comes and goes, the tone, the flavor of your experience. Without trying, just noticing, as if you're just sitting at a playground, watching kids play. Not trying to change the way they're sliding, swinging, playing in the sand. And we rest on the bench in the park, just chilling. Our breath, feet, the seat, the sounds. And as you're resting here, shift your awareness to I invite you to just shift your awareness to something you're grateful for. Something small. Maybe you're indoors. A phone call, a conversation. Notice that gratitude and how that feels. If you don't feel nothing, that's okay. You don't feel anything, that's okay. But now see if you can turn that same gratitude toward yourself. Gratitude for taking time tonight. Trying this new way of meditating maybe, or revisiting it, or just the way you've ignored the whole thing and just done your own thing. There's no wrong way to do this. You're doing great. So give yourself some appreciation just for showing up. Some gratitude, simply saying thank you in your mind, in your heart. Thank you. Keep going, keep growing, keep learning. And remembering that wisdom means knowing the nature of conditions as we're experiencing them. That's all. We don't need a diploma for this one. It's right here. It's your birthright. It's waiting to wake up. So taking these last few moments just to be with yourself and thank yourself, sending kindness to yourself. You're doing great, doing better than you could ever imagine, just by showing up. So be kind to my friend.